How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to show you guys a little bit exactly on how I get my leads without paying for them. Because realistically, we don't want to pay for leads, right? It gets expensive. You don't want to pay for the wrong number. Trust me, you don't know how many times I've gotten leads that I've gotten sent through paid subscription services or whatever, and it's not the right information. Same thing with skip tracing, but besides the point, I'm going to share a little bit of how I get my leads for free, not paying a dime other than maybe gas. And some of these actually you'll probably be making a little bit of extra cash along the side if you don't mind the hustle. I need these notes because this is where everything is. So the first one, right, expired listings for sale by owners. You can find these guys on Realtor, Zillow. Sometimes they have specific websites. I can't think of the website right off the top of my head, but I know if you look up for sale by owner on Google, a Google search, you'll find like a whole bunch of websites that you can go. Oftentimes they'll have the owner's name and their phone numbers or emails that you can contact them, or whoever is doing the listing for them. Sometimes it's a family member, sometimes it's their attorney. So definitely Google search. You'll be surprised just off of like what you can find off the internet. A lot of that goes for a lot of prospecting on the internet too. And if you're having any troubles, or if you want to verify more on the property, if you have something like PropStream, that helps a lot. There's also, I think Deal Machine is another one that's kind of similar to PropStream, but I've never used it. I have gotten leads from there before though, from my next recommendation, which would be to join a team. You'd be surprised how many teams there are out there, especially if you're an experienced realtor. You probably already know that already, but if you're someone new like myself that's just now getting into the game, I definitely recommend joining a team, just so you can kind of learn a little bit. You might also have like open houses that might get tossed your way that you can host, which I totally recommend picking up anything, even if you don't know how to do it. Like prime example, I have an open house coming up on Sunday, this Sunday actually, and I've never hosted an open house before, but I figured I'm never gonna learn unless I do it, so I kind of tossed myself in there. So joining a team, oftentimes, like the team that I'm a part of, we do get leads that the guy pays for sent to us. Thankfully, I do have my own way of getting leads. As you see, you are watching this video, so I don't have to solely rely on those leads per se. However, whenever I do get short on my list of people to call, or whenever something does pop up, it's really good to have. There's also brokerages now that you can join that kind of like just specialize in like Zillow leads or realtor leads. So you can even, if you're experienced, you're probably not going to want to do that, right? But if you're new, if you don't mind the lower commission, because that is something that kind of comes with it, you kind of get a lower split. But if you don't mind for the networking and the experience, because like if you're new, you might as well take what you can get. It's definitely not a bad route to go to, is joining a team or finding a brokerage that kind of specializes in lead, paid lead type of model. Like I said, there was one that I was partnered with for not too long. I didn't even get any work done with them. That they kind of focused more primarily on paid leads, and that kind of wasn't my thing because they were really focused on that. And like I said, I have my another way of getting my own leads, so I was like, I really don't want to put too much time into that. So thankfully, I don't work for them anymore. But yes, partnering with a brokerage or a team that has paid leads that they don't mind giving you, and that you don't mind taking a little bit lower money because you know they are giving you the leads, they go for it. It's good for networking, it's good for experience, it's good to learn. Next one is pretty obvious, is use your current sphere of influence, right? Family members. If you have, I know we all have Instagram, well, we don't all have Instagram or Facebook. Most of us have social medias, and I know that we have at least 50 friends or 50 followers, you know, on these social media accounts. So sometimes just running through and just sending a quick message to people, letting them know that you're started, or if they know anyone that's interested in buying property or selling something, or just talking to them about what's going on, finding something to just chat with them about. I know we all have people in our immediate circle that we can kind of branch off of. They might know a guy that knows a guy, you know, if you're at work, coworkers. I definitely would say speaking more to coworkers, as tough as it kind of can be, because you can get a little bit of backfire from that, because you know, if you are just starting out and your coworkers find out that you are trying to do something outside of work to kind of like leave work, a lot of them might start getting jealous. But I mean, it's the price that comes with success, right? You're gonna have people that are gonna be a little bit envious and a little people that are gonna bitch about it, but you gotta do what you gotta do to be successful. So I definitely recommend maybe mingling more with maybe the bosses or something, but mingling more with people, people that you talk to that you every day, people that you might not talk to as often, just hit them up, see what's going on. Maybe they need a place to rent. Maybe they're not trying to buy a house. The idea is just to get experience, right? And just to get something done. So don't leave anything on the table, especially when you're new. You don't want to leave too much on the table because you want to take as much as you can, even if you don't know how to do it. So just go through, try to see who it is that you know, and just reach out to them. And another one that I like to do is oh, that's actually, I'm not going to mention that now because that's in the last one. So the next one after this is number 3, right? Is to get another job. I know it sucks. It sounds like it sucks. Like I said, if you're experienced, you're probably like, nah, this isn't going to work for me. It could. I would recommend either something like Uber Eats, DoorDash, something where you're traveling and you're outside more. Now, some people might ask me why. Not only is it already a tax write-off for your mileage and stuff like that, but a lot of the times, a lot of the business that you might not see, especially like when it comes to for sale by owners and things like that, is when you're driving through these neighborhoods. So when you're going through new neighborhoods, delivering food or dropping people off, it's probably even better if you're dropping people off because not only are you getting new neighborhoods, but you're meeting new people that you could also plug into whatever it is that you're doing for real estate. So you're just keeping an alert, like I said, with that new job, Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, those things actually really help if you use it and compound it with the idea that you're building your real estate business. If you look at it like that, and people ask like, well, why are you doing this? You're like, hey, it's a new way to meet new clients, right? I wouldn't have met you if I wasn't picking you up. So, and maybe some people might say your ideal clients aren't going to come from people that are getting Ubers, but you never know who's Ubering, especially if you live in an area like I do. There's 2 casinos nearby. You could pick up a pretty wealthy guy or a pretty a savvy investor, or a guy that does just contracting jobs. Those guys might know a guy that knows a guy too. So something that's just going to get you in the face of different people. I'd even recommend like a retail job somewhere like in like a mall or something where there's just I know malls are dying, but there's certain outlets or certain malls that still have some life to them. Somewhere where you could just meet an influx of people at different times. So definitely something maybe in the customer service. It doesn't be part-time, doesn't have to be full-time. And just like I said, the idea is that you're just networking, because real estate's slow. It is. A lot of it's based off follow-up and meeting new people and just building that network, because who might not be able to buy right now, or who's not looking to buy right now or sell, you don't know what they're going to be doing, 6 months, 3 months, even a year from now. And you want to kind of keep that influence, or not influence per se, but you want to keep the idea that they remember you, especially as a realtor or an agent or whatever it is that you're doing, in mind. That way they're like, you know what, I remember this Jockwell guy. I'm gonna call him back and see what he's doing. Maybe he might be able to help me. So that's the kind of idea that you're shooting for. If you can get another job, meet new people, it's perfect, because you never know who you're gonna meet. So this is the last one, is maintaining like a constant realtor or agent mode. And it's like, per se, it kind of goes back, it ties up everything that I've talked about so far, but in the sense that even when you're not doing real estate work per se, you still have the idea that when you step outside, you are a realtor, you're in the real estate industry. So you want to be on the lookout for house signs, people selling their houses, and engagement in the property. I know I didn't mention this with the Uber and DoorDash thing, but neighborhoods, you're finding new neighborhoods. I don't think I touched that, but when you're out driving around, doing trips, just living your life, just keep in mind of things that can help your business. I don't know how else to really say that other than the idea I haven't said yet, which was something I like to do, is collecting business cards, like their Pokemon cards, right? Because you never know when you're gonna need someone's business card. So whether you're in the store and you see a couple business cards, pick them up. You never know when you might need that person, even if they're completely unrelated to what it is you do. Well, keep it in the funnel of what it is that you do, right? Like contractors, electricians, plumbers, wholesalers, flippers, people like that. You don't want to have a caterer. Well, you could have a caterer if you're having an open house. You see, like, you just never know when you're going to need these people. And when you go out and contact them and you're like, hey, I have them on your business card. Or let's say you meet them in public face to face and you get their business card, and if you have any, you give them to them, and you actually use it and think of them, that's going to make them more likely to think of you in situations where you could come up. So just maintaining that realtor and agent mindset, like that'll probably take you the furthest realistically than all these things in terms of getting leads. Because if you are just always remembering to kind of just think of how you can, it sounds kind of psychologically like manipulative, but it's not, but I can see how people can say it is. But if you could always make sure you can keep yourself in a position as to where people think of you when that time comes, that's really good. So that's the idea that you want to go for. And that's how I generate all my leads for free without paying for them. I don't do DoorDash or stuff like that. I have another method that allows me to travel and explore new neighborhoods and all that other stuff. And oh, door knocking is another good one to mention. You can door knock, that's free. I'll probably make an updated video of this, but that's what I do to get my leads for free. If I'm not paying for them, if I'm not getting them sent to me, if I'm not doing my list of what I already have, I'm definitely speaking to people. I'm always paying attention, you know, seeing for sale by owner signs, you know, other agent activity, other brokerage activity in the area. I'm just always kind of just paying attention. And also, like, when I go to these different neighborhoods, just keep an eye out. Like, if it's somewhere I'm like, hey, I'd buy a house here, I try to remember the address so I could look up and just go on PropStream or the MLS and kind of just delve a little bit too. Oh, that's another thing. If you have MLS, you can use that for the canceled and expired listings. I'm definitely have to make a part 2, but other than that, if you guys liked the video, if you learned something, I hope you did. I know it wasn't too much in detail. It was just some things off the top of my head that I figured I'd kind of let you guys know, because I've seen some videos on this and I was like, I could kind of give my own take, because I have a lot of methods for free leads and I want to start uploading more real estate content. So figured this is something I can kind of get out there pretty quick. So like I said, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, drop a dislike. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.